Hola, bonjour, and hello, everybody. You are listening to Worldwide Tea. It is the one and only podcast where every single episode we talk about all the international goings on of RuPaul's Drag Race international seasons. It is the podcast that the queens listen to. New slogan, working on it. Either way,
Mm.
as always, I am Evan Saudi from Pop Matters.
I'm Gregory Elwood from the playlist, fresh off Oscar season. Thank fucking God it's over.
Thank fucking God. Yes.
Fresh from the South by Southwest Film Festival, where I did not see any drag queens in Austin. I tried, but there weren't. Oh no, that's not true. I sent you a photo. I saw Bibi Zahara
Yes,
Benet
you
randomly. She
did.
was doing she was at she was at Rain. Um,
Mhm.
but I did see a great movie that we gave an award to called The Snake, and it stars, no joke, four scenes. Jimbo, All Stars season 8 winner. Jimbo's very good in it. Jimbo appears in drag in two scenes, out of drag in two others. It's a great movie. Let's hope it gets US distribution. The star of the movie is fucking fantastic. We gave her an award. And hopefully it's queer themed, but whatever. Anyway, Evan, how are you feeling on this 97-degree day in Los Angeles?
Greg, it's over. We've done it. We conquered the
Yes!
mountain. We climbed it. It is UK versus the world. Season 3 has finally concluded. Is that do I hear glassware over on your end? Is
I
is my
I
Sonic thing picking
I
anything up?
for those of us who are just listening and not watching, and you should watch on our YouTube.
Yes, you should. Our
Um,
faces are great.
our faces, not only faces, we spend time and energy putting in little graphics to reference that you can't see when you're listening while you're doing your run or on the car. But we want to give a toast, not only to one of the most surprising seasons in the history of Drag Race. Because let me tell you, both Evan and I had not a lot of faith in this one, baby.
Hey,
No,
listen to
no.
our Meet the Queens for more
Well, this is
proof. Yes.
our Meet the Queens. But also, not only was it super entertaining, but it gave us one of the most redemption, incredible comeback winners of all time in Gawdland. Cheers to Gawdland. Cheers. We're gonna
Ching,
ching.
ching,
Cheers
chin
to
chin.
UK versus the World Season 3. And we're just gonna say it because history has been made. Evan, the BBC did not BBC.
I thought it was pretty iconic for the BBC to actually allow the first short queen to ever win. I don't know if that's ever happened before. I thought that was legendary though. And also, let's just get it out of the way while we're talking about it too. As you've been probably hearing throughout the season, we've been doing exit interviews with literally every queen who's been eliminated. And listen, Greg's a busy guy. He can't do 4 exit interviews in one day, so he had an interview with the winner, Gawdland. It's on our YouTube channel. Give it a chance to check it out. She is tired, but she talks very honestly about her reception in her previous season, and in this one, it's pretty wild, but it's pretty great too. But yeah, outside of that, before we jump into the episode, Greg, we have confirmation that Plain Jane and Q are both competing on Project Runway coming up.
No.
I heard it was
Q
Plain
is.
Jane too. Okay, Q
No. Q
officially. Okay,
Plane's just there for a challenge. She's like not
okay.
she's like helping out. It's Q. But
Good.
we've got that. What else do we have? Is there any other breaking news that we
Oh,
have?
I literally thought there was something that I had at the top of my mind, but no, apparently not. But yeah, listen, long story short, stop that train. It's apparently
Oh,
coming out at some
stop
point.
that
So.
train. It's coming. Stop that train. Um
Yeah,
and but no, let's just talk about this episode. Let's get into it because
so many
considering the
looks.
format was pretty basic, it was sort of
Yeah.
entertaining.
Because listen, Greg, I'm not sure if you caught this, but when Greg and I were doing a UK 7 over here, the finale episode was so fucking stupid. Basically the queens are getting ready for their big final performance, and what's that? Oh, Kyron Thrax is here. We're gonna watch tapes of their audition videos, and it just felt like
Oh my
padding
God.
and padding and padding, and it was so bad. And so here, what they're doing with UK versus is that they're actually doing a combination of the reunion and a lip sync for the crown all at the same time. And you know what? I think it works. I think it's nice. They still kept it to that hour and 5 minutes that they love to do, and it kind of paid off. And the thing I don't know, Greg, and you'll probably have a lot more to say about this as we go through it. So many girls put their best looks on for the reunion and not the finale runway, and that where that dichotomy exists, I don't know, but that's what they did. So it was an adventure. So yeah.
It was, and I also just I gotta say we didn't get too much time in the workroom. Like we'll get to it, but I thought the episode moved super quick. I loved it,
Snappy, snappy.
but the queens do come back from last week's episode and they get a tease. And also, let's talk about at the beginning of this episode. Can you remember the last time any franchise used so much of the promo videos and images like at the beginning? I did that really popped to me. I don't remember that France, Spain. I don't remember anybody else doing that before.
No, I mean, I feel like I've seen some iterations of it, but what was really surprising is when they started doing the roll of all their runway looks together, and for me it was like, well, one person clearly had a better runway package than everyone else combined, but that's just
Yes.
me. But yeah, it was interesting to mix. And there's also a lot of the promo, like the Meet the Queens promo stuff too on top. Like it was just
Yeah.
fascinating that they used it, but it looked professional. It was a nice package. What can I say?
BBC made sure that all that money they spent on the promo cup reflected. Oh my God, maybe they charged it to the episode budget. That's probably what they did.
Smart,
We know too much
smart.
about this business. But I I do want to say, can you still hear me? Um, I did want to say, can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Um, is that they come back into the workroom
Hmm.
and Mariah is just thrilled, absolutely just thrilled that she is here and that she made it to the top four because she just wants to relish in it because she knows she can't win. Um, and then the girls aren't even finished with last week's episode when they get a little message from Mama Ru. It's sort of shocking.
Hmm. They get the room mail, they get the alarm, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, there's the hint, the notion, the idea that the other queens might be coming back because that's right, it is a reunion episode. And that's really it. I mean, Fontana does another joke about I actually want to be in the top four, and also we'll talk about her how she reacts to the rest of this episode in just a second. But yes, not much happens before we immediately go to the reunion. It's pretty quick, Greg. It's wild.
I was okay with it. And the girls come in, and we're happy to know that Rue will not be hosting this reunion, but Michelle Visage, which I thought was a nice twist.
Yeah.
And up
Yeah.
first is Melinda Verga, who, by the way, in context, Melinda Verga has been in quarantine for this show for a good 3 weeks. So
Yep.
take that into context when remembering what happened on this episode. Evan, what did you think of the look that Melinda Verga was wearing?
Sure. It's a look. It is a fine nude color dress with a bunch of puffy fabric around her. It's nice. I think the wig is a mistake. This giant bouffant 80s drenched in hairspray wig
Hmm.
just feels not as great, and also the glower that she is wearing on her face certainly isn't helping things either. I'll say that
Hmm.
at all.
No, I don't think she's having a good time.
Oh,
Up next is Minty Fresh, who still lasted an extra episode, so she got 3 episodes. It's a stunning gown. I thought
fuck
actually
me.
out of both runways, she won the night.
So
Um,
goddamn good. So goddamn good.
Beautiful,
Right.
great
Yeah.
gown, loved it. Uh, Up next was Sminty Fresh. She can barely walk in this
Sminty
look.
drop, you mean?
Oh, sorry, Sminty drop.
Yeah.
Uh, but I thought it was sexy. How would you describe Sminty Drop's look?
It is like it's kind of like a very much going for a Victoria's Secret kind of thing. It's like the
Yes.
netting that you'd find in like the seashore. She's almost like mermaid-esque, and while it's great that she has glistening body, it's just kind of an look. It doesn't feel like finale or even closely approximate. It's fine.
Up next is Serena Morena, and let's just be honest, we all never would have thought Serena Morena would make it as far as she did. But also, like Mariah, if we had a gun to our head and had to predict what Serena Morena would wear, probably be this. It's a very nice sparkly gown. It's pageantish Mexican drag. It's all fine with me. Serena, we liked you. Uh,
I
Pretty pretty.
I loved the that pink red wrap that was like she had the puffy shoulders in that texture,
Yeah.
but then that wrap around her legs that would just suddenly turn into a mermaid tail. I thought it was a really nice touch. She looked so for someone who we all thought was going to be first out. She proved that she really
Mhm.
has a lot to prove, and it was a delight, truly.
100%. Up next was Zahira,
It was a
and
hire.
I liked this gown, but I don't know if I liked the nude color on the gown.
Hated it. Hated the nude color because the problem with nude color is that when it starts bunching, it becomes pretty obvious, and so the whole thing just looked ill-fitting. I was not a fan. I did not like it, and it's the kind of thing where it's like, and I don't want to win. Well, she wasn't gonna anyway, but still, ugh, there was no
She
chance.
wa- she wanted to win. She wanted to, but this was not going to help her.
I love that delusion.
Yes. Up next is, and by the way, talk about a great, only Naomi, we've talked to you. We hope you're listening. We're huge fans. Lucky for you, happy for you. You got 8 episodes. You're in every freaking episode of this season. Like, bravo.
Yeah.
She's barely gone, and she's in this pink sort of like tight dress, very much her aesthetic. I just thought the
Hmm.
pink popped because everybody else was wearing such sort of more jewel tones, like black or
Hmm.
white. I thought she looked great. What did you think?
I mean, very, very much same. I thought it was like it wasn't like the it felt more like a proper reunion look with this
Mm,
beauty with these wonderful things together. Because some people just wore finale look. I thought she came ready
yeah.
for a reunion and it worked out great. Yeah,
Up next is Mariah, and it's this stunning yellow gown with furs. She looks glam. She looks expensive. Like many of her other looks, I'm sure she borrowed it from friends or had it in the closet, but it looks great. I'm happy for Mariah. Super happy for
yeah,
her.
absolutely the same. I thought it was fantastic. Like, and again, it's like she's kind of showed off this more glamour puss iteration of herself, and I thought that in this iteration, just that opulent yellow, she hadn't worn that color field
Mm-mm,
before. It just
mm-mm.
no, which one?
No, she
Which
hadn't.
one?
You're correct. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And it looked great on her. I was such a fan, such a fan.
What did you think of Kate Butch's uh purple silhouette dress?
I gotta be honest, I really liked it. Like it gave very much like Ethel Merman. It gave like, and I love the ruching on it. We could talk about the wig color a little bit. Like to go from all this deep dark purple into this hot little splash of orange was a little
Mm.
bit, maybe a little bit out of sync, but overall, still a very good look. One of the better things she brought, I would argue.
I love the silhouette. I did not like the purple, but maybe it's the contrast with the orange, and I didn't like the contrast with her wig in general,
Yeah.
which might have been probably, but I love the silhouette. Ready to take the crown. Gawdland comes wearing a carpet. Just very this will be an old reference if you know anything about classic television. Um she's basically almost doing the Carol Burnett. I made the curtains into a dress. Here she made the rug into a dress. I just no words. So good.
Incredible. And the headpiece, this ornate gold headpiece that she has, is just glistening. She just outdoes herself time and time again. I'm just gonna call it right now, best runway package of the season. Absolutely, unquestionably.
Hands down.
Yeah.
Someone who came close though, but this was an example of overthinking the assignment, was Fontana. Evan, do you know what Fontana is referencing in this look?
Is she referencing RuPaul's Met Gala look with this thing? Because like,
Hmm.
cool.
Did you
It's
did you figure that out? Because I needed someone to tell me 36
My
hours
husband told
later.
me because I did not
Okay.
clock that at first either. And it's the kind of thing where it's like, when I think about what was it, season 15, I remember when Luxdor London did the kind of wee wee pole punk Rue
Mm.
look. Like that was such an obvious and beautiful reference because no one else had done that era before. And she's obviously such a fan of Rue. Like that made a lot more sense. This really feels again, and I think this is the history this whole season. Fontana just gives pick me energy so hard, and this felt like just another. Oh my God, look how clever I am. Look at this thing I did. Aren't I great? And I'm just like, oh, we'll talk about what happens at the reunion, but I got like it's fine. It's pretty. It's fine. Is what I think
It
about that.
it's fine, and but I will say she sat down and I was looking at the fabric because basically she took, you know what, if she'd done pants instead of making it a skirt, everyone would have got it, but it's a skirt, and
100%.
I'm like, why does that print look so familiar? I couldn't figure it out with the bow tie. It looked like a mismatch of things. She just overthought like so much
She
this
really
season.
did. And then you have the headpiece, this
Hmm.
ex
Oh,
equestrian thing on top of it, and now it's like it's again like this is you're trying to be too clever. You're being smarter than the class, and it's not working, which is why it didn't have consistency.
by the way, I still don't get the reference to that horse headpiece with the RuPaul Met Gala look. What am I missing? It doesn't make any sense. Girl, just put on a regular blonde wig. Like, come out. Like, trying too hard. Um,
Montana.
Listen, we're not gonna get to talk to her until she comes back in another season or decides she messages us and want to talk. So I'm gonna be super. We're both gonna be
I
super
really
honest
hope
as
she
always.
becomes the Van Gogh of this series for us. I really do.
Yes,
That is the
come on, Fontana, DM us. Let's do an interview. Because
yeah.
hey, we love Drag Race Sweden. We've told the world. Um, so the reunion starts. Michelle is very kind. She basically goes through almost every of the eliminated queens first, sort of asking them about stuff. These were some of my highlights. Serena said she had an orgasm, like a real orgasm, like when she was cast, and the girls freak out because they believe her. I don't know if
Hmm.
I believe her, but if she did, that's amazing. Evan, do you believe that Serena Moreno really had a sexual orgasm when she was told she got on the
When
show?
she keeps talking about these things, I think at this point, yes, she's a very sexual individual, and I embrace that for her. I love that journey. I love that
Listen,
journey
we are
for
a
her.
sex positive podcast. Don't ever get it wrong. I still don't believe it. Um, uh, But then we talk. Listen, Melinda is the first one out, and Michelle basically brings up the elephant in the room because she knows even a year from now, no one will have expected her to go first. And Melinda's, we did an interview with Melinda. You can find it on
Hmm.
our YouTube channel. And
Hmm.
at the time, she referenced about how she had thought about quitting drag. She brings it up during this conversation. She did exactly what I knew she was going to have to do after this episode dropped. She's put on her social media, I'm not quitting drag. This was a year ago. I was really down. I was really depressed. Like I have pride gigs. Like she's not quitting drag. But she did say this was the worst case scenario for her. Um, and she might quit drag, and she might want to give her non-drag self a chance, which she did talk to also in interviews, and she's going to try to
Yes.
do more roles as non-drag Melinda, which
Hmm.
okay, good luck.
Yeah.
But I think she's I think if she wants to do Canadian All Stars too, because spoiler, she's not on Canadian All Stars.
Yeah.
Um, I think they bring her back down the road.
Yeah.
Did you have any other thoughts of Melinda's sort of moments?
No, she was just very honest about it, and again, she wasn't having a good time at the reunion anyway, so it all kind of made sense. But again, she'll be fine, everyone. She was already on Traders. She'll be okay. So yeah,
Yes. But then we get into some drama, Evan. And
some.
Minty's asked about Fontana's reaction to. Now, can you refresh our memory again? What exactly was at the core of the Minty and Fontana uh, uh, disagreement or discord? What did Fontana do again that Minty was calling out?
So during their lip sync, in which a certain person went home, let's not forget, immediately after Ruth said, "Fontana, you stay." Immediately after that, it was the Fontana who dropped to the ground, just completely, almost in tears, almost completely in tears. And immediately after that, she started doing a little cha-cha number. Didn't even look sweet, sweet dear Minty in the face, and just walked to the back of the stage. And I think our girl's a little depressed over that. And you know what? I think she has every effing reason to be, if I'm being so real. So that's, yeah.
I'm going to be really honest. Considering what Fontana said here, Minty, you are a classier individual than I would be.
Holy shit,
I
yes.
And I'm
Holy
not saying
shit,
that because
yes.
you didn't want to make good television. I think this is you and you are a classy individual. Um,
Hmm.
Minty says she thought Fontana's reaction was impolite, which is a very kind way of putting it. And Fontana says, I have a lot to say. That celebration is just what Brazilians do. It's just a natural instinct. And it takes her forever. But she does say, I apologize. And Michelle, trying to play as nicely as possible, sort of the mediator, asks Minty, does she accept her apology? And she pauses and she says, let me process it. I don't know. They're still friends. What do you think?
I I genuinely think that our sweet and incredible Minty Fresh is one of the smartest and most tactile people in this world. I think she handled it expertly. I think it was a masterclass in how to go about that. But this is, I would argue, the start of the let's Fontana doesn't look great brigade that continues on throughout this reunion.
Well, that's funny because the only other thing I have that I thought was a big thing was Kate and Sminty talking about Sminty not being saved. And Kate Sminty basically says that she thought Kate actually betrayed her a couple of times. And by the way,
Hmm.
the editors cut to footage of Kate saying, "Let's be in an alliance." Correct me if I'm wrong.
Nope,
When
that's
Kate
true.
at the reunion is saying, "I didn't say that," or I didn't really mean, I didn't 100% say. I don't remember what her excuse was, but she said she did. Um,
Yeah.
I Kate says she thought that Sminty would win the lip sync, which both you and I know, and every listener and every viewer knows is a terrible excuse. If you thought she was better than the other queens, you don't save Mariah, you save
Hmm.
Sminty, and
Hmm.
you don't assume that your country woman, country queen, is going to just
Hmm.
make it, unless you see her as competition, and you'd be okay if she went home. Did I get anything wrong
I
here?
it is the kind of thing where you almost wish Kate was just almost a little bit more cuntier because Rue likes rewarding girls who are like, it's a competition. You got to fight for yourself. Like a lot of times when you're like very gradual or helping people out in the workroom, like we all remember in UK season 3 when Veronica Green came back and got eliminated
Mhm.
third because she helped everyone else in a design challenge and then had no time for herself and gave us a garbage look. Like that stuff isn't rewarded there. So there's that
Mhm.
part of me where I understand Kate's playing the politics of the social media game, but at the same time, it's like I kind of wish she just kind of embraced it. Like, yeah, there was no thing. I just did that to play you. I think that would have been a better move, but I don't think that's just what's in her nature, you know?
But the problem is it comes off as, which is my problem with Kate in a lot of this episode, especially in the confessionals. It comes off as performative in that she's giving like the answer you think you want. And the difference between her and Blue and Tia would have been honest about it. Blue would have like
Hmm.
owned it, like Blue Hydrangea, by the way, the first week winner of UK versus the world.
For those who don't
In case
remember,
for
right?
those who don't watch or forgot, Blue would have owned it like a badge of honor.
Yeah.
So this was strange to me. But I do know what you're talking about with Fontana because later on, Fontana attacks the only Naomi once again about the only Naomi randomly saying, "I don't even want to be in the finale," when it was clear that it was an off the cuff converse moment that she had off. By the way, off camera, like
Hmm.
offset, and she was saying it flippantly. She's trying to explain that she doesn't mean it, and both Sahira and Fontana are making it like a big deal. I feel like it's them projecting get off attention from me, and we're going to attack you. Only Naomi, my girl, if you're listening, once again, you did nothing wrong.
100%. And the worst part is that Zahira, she really feels like she's a plastic in the Mean Girls. She really feels like she's
Yeah.
backing up Fontana's Regina George. Like, no, I agree with, like, the whole time while Fontana's describing it, she's nodding her head, like, exactly. That's what you meant, babes. I'm so sorry. And it's just like, both of them just come off as entitled bitches, and it is not a good look. And it's just like, for me, it's the kind of thing where I was going to ask you this at the end, but I'm just going to put the seed in your head earlier. Who shouldn't have gone on this season? Because, like, I think on the end, like, some people have their
Oh.
rising and falling stocks on here. Melinda, there's no way she could have known she was going to go home first. And so, like, I don't think there's anything wrong with Melinda Virga saying yes. Minty Fresh, I don't know. She got to meet a Western audience, but, like, she didn't get to show what we knew her from Philippines. But for me, it's the kind of thing where, like, Fontana came off, she was talented, and I think very early on had a lovable edge to her. But as the season goes on, she just wants to be in the right. She's going to bring up petty bullshit. And it's just not a good look. And so, like, at the end of the season, I'm just like, I don't know how her perception is because it's like, okay, like for me, I kind of lost. She lost points for me, and Zahira didn't have a lot of points to begin with. But by the end, when she's just being the exactly bitch, I kind of don't have the same energy. This whole fight kind of proved it.
It's a really tough It's a really tough question. I
Yeah,
actually would say Minty because I feel like Minty seemed like a we I love you as a Minty, if you're listening, I love you as a queen. You don't seem like the queen at all that we saw on Drag Race Philippines season one.
agree.
And I don't
Yeah,
know what happened in the years intervening. It's not like Eva La Queen who went on Global All Stars and like did great. She proved
yeah,
herself high. She had amazing runways. She was a
100%.
world-class queen. Like, nope, she didn't get as far as Marina, but she did not insult, she did not do her country, wrong.
Correct. Yeah.
And not that Minty did, but I just felt like I was really surprised Minty didn't do as well. My thing with Fontana is this is all worth it to Fontana because this show gave her the Brazilian audience fan base she did not have. Her
Right.
followers have literally doubled. She has the most followers now off, besides Sminty Drop, who had the most before the show came. She already was at like
Hmm.
150 or 130 before it started.
Right.
But Fontana's followers went through the roof. She was a meme queen. She's been on Swedish television. She's been on Brazilian television. It doesn't matter how this episode ended for her because she now can go do gigs in Brazil for 5, 6 years, make money. Like this has helped her life and her career. Zahira, I actually think it was good. I didn't think at the time she should do it because it was so close after her last season, but her runways were better. She performed better. She just had some bad luck. I didn't think she like showed herself that badly. I really only think Melinda and Minty are the two that I'd be like, I don't know if this was your time. If I was
Hmm.
Melinda, I would have waited to Canada All Stars, but she told us they didn't know at the
Yeah.
time. So,
Yeah.
and Minty, I think Minty did know that there was Slasian All Star, Slasian Royale, but I think she thought this was a better shot.
Hmm.
Obviously
Which
not.
I understand. I get it. After you saw what Marina did, it makes sense. But she
Hmm.
just doesn't have the same personality that Marina does. So
Yeah.
I think that was the miscalculation on that too. I think a more reserved personality might do better on Slation because even Bernie, who is not like maybe the most outspoken, still had a pretty good run. But we're getting into the weeds here, everybody. But that's why
We
you listen
are.
to us. That's
But
what we do. Exactly.
as we finish up just the reunion really quickly, Fontana does talk about how she was upset she didn't get the Chippy Tea, that no one ever saved her, which again, she's a little bitter Betty. Like she's
Hmm.
taking, and by the way, at this point, we'll be fair, they have been shooting this show for 3 weeks straight. It's a little bit
Yep.
like Big Brother and Traitors. They're also in a country that they're not norm. They're like eating food and like it's not the comforts of like being
Home.
on
Yeah.
at home on a, even if you're like sequestered and being able to like order the chips or diet whatever or version of soda or whatever that you normally feel comfort with, it's not there.
Yeah.
So I do get that. Um, but I did think she was bitter Betty, and she kept as it went on. And what was so weird about the whole rest of it is that Gawdland, Kate Butch, outside of that Kate Butch moment with Sminty, and Mariah barely got any screen time at all. Like, and they didn't have much to say. Like, it was they were just. I think Gawdland said that the UK was very cold and that she didn't realize she was hilarious. I don't
Yeah.
remember one thing Mariah said. And that's not that Mariah did anything bad. There was no drama for
The
her.
reunion was not her moment. That's the
No.
biggest thing. Instead, we got to have Michelle Holtz Minty for not knowing the words to Bananarama. To which she's like, I mean, I don't really know Banana, whatever. Oh, you mean one of the biggest selling girl groups in UK history? You don't know Bananarama? Yes, as
I
always.
mean, we talked about it. Sminty, if you're listening, like, you're not that young. Like, you're not
Yeah.
Generation Alpha. Like, come on.
Yeah. Also,
But
you're on Drag Race. You know that the references you're going to hear are things that delight Rue and Michelle. So
yes.
get to know what Cher is or get off the pot. You can't all be Maya Amon LePage. Let's be real. So,
But we have a reveal. We have a winner announced. The queens have voted. They are crowning the Miss Congeniality. Evan, who won Miss Congeniality and what was your reaction?
for me, it was the only choice. It was the only choice. What do you mean? What
Really?
are you looking at me
I
like
just
that
wouldn't have.
for?
No, I didn't. Who won? Tell us who won. Because I
It
just
was
didn't. Wouldn't
Serena
have.
Morena. Serena Morena was the winner of Miss Congeniality, the sweetest, the cock lovingest, the horniest, and just the all around
Okay.
nicest. I think overall, well, who else would you have put in there? Who else would you put in there? Would have been Minty? Would have been
I thought
Melinda?
Minty could have won. I thought
Yeah,
not Melinda. She wasn't there long enough, but I thought Minty could have won. And it's not by the way that Serena didn't seem nice.
right.
I didn't think they showed anyone on the cast as being overly nice. I actually thought only Naomi could have won, but clearly two of them are bitter with her for like that whole moment. But only Naomi seemed like one of the nicest, most kindest queens on the cast. But I'm happy for
Yeah,
Serena. Super happy for
yeah.
her.
I gotta be honest though, Greg. I was looking up on Reddit earlier, and apparently off camera, only Naomi said, "I don't even care about miscongeniality," and so I think that may have factored into some of the decisions from the judges.
It might have. But listen, we don't even go to the workroom.
We don't
It's
even go
time
to the
to go to the
workroom.
main stage. We're gonna
Mm,
get this runway out.
mm.
It is the finale runway. Rue comes out, and it's a nice print. It's fine. What did you think of
It's
Rue's look?
nice. It's nice. It's
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 nice.
it's 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 fine. It
It's
it it,
fine.
it does the job. I wasn't particularly blown away by it personally, but like it does the job.
And I will
It's
steal Evan's thunder because we talked for a quick second before we started the podcast. But Evan, you didn't think that these looks were as good as the reunion looks, did you?
I stand by that. Oh, we can go through it one by one.
We're
I will
going
count
to.
it out, baby. Okay,
Who
here
is
we
up
go.
first, and what is that mismatch that she is wearing?
This one I give credit for trying. So first off, obviously
Yes.
we have Belinda Verga, and she is doing a combination Canadian Filipina outfit. So it's red and white. It has this like long, almost like downward wing kind of style to it there. And then across the front, she has this giant gold V coming off of her chest. She has
Mhm.
a giant crown that's like supposed to be the center point of the Philippines flag. There's a lot of good elements over here. I don't know how it congeals as well as I think it should. Like it's very pretty. It's very lovely, but and I gotta be honest, and not to say that performance is going to necessarily sell the outfit here. She can't shake that scowl. She's still unhappy to
Oh,
be here, and it is like it is shows through, and it kind of brings down the performance of the walking on the runway a little bit for me. What did you think?
you beat me to saying that last point. That was the one thing I was just going to add is like she does not want to be there.
Yeah,
I thought she had better looks on Canada's Drag Race. Like this
yeah,
was this I'm sort of shocked. But
yeah,
Melinda, we love you. We hope that you come back down the road. Um,
yeah.
Minty Fresh. Ugh, like I don't really know if this was really her finale look, but it is this full leather like was it a dress or pant? It was dress.
So it was a dress. There was like kind of a there was a bunch of slits in there, but there was basically kind of an opening at the front. Then her leggings came down. There's a little bit of a
Right.
train, right? But it's
Yes.
this like kind of like what kind of blue is that? Like it's kind of like almost
It's
like
not,
this.
it's leather. It's black
Yeah,
leather.
that's
I
black. Oh, I thought I was getting a little bit more of like kind of like a quieter like aqua hue to it when I was looking at it. And maybe that was just the lights, but that's kind of
might have
how
been
it
the lights.
reads even in the photo that I pull up. So yeah, but
No,
it's
she
very
says
dark. Yeah,
it's leather. It's
yeah.
it's she talks about how she wanted to wear leather, black leather on the runway.
Hmm.
I thought it was a surprise for a finale look, but I thought it was fashion forward. Like more I'm more than some of the other queens for this particular runway. Speaking of who should be our fashion queen, Sminty Fresh comes out. Evan, would you like to discuss this look?
No, but let's do it anyway. So imagine if you will, a bankrupt production of Rent, and she's playing Angel. Okay, so long story short, it is a kind of a mummy wrap top and a money wrap hip pad that juts out in a V shape off of her hips and shoulders that I would describe as asymmetrical. Remember when Serena Chacha was derided in season 5 of the U.S. Drag Race for being a sculptural artist, and in her design
Yes.
challenge, that's she was going to do
Mhm.
a sculptural dress. That's what I feel like this is. I feel like this is an attempt at a sculptural kind of thing because there's just mounds of fabric that are just kind of on her hips and shoulders. She's in another universe. I'd see this as fashion. I just thought this was like, sure, I have it. There's intent behind it. It does not strike me as especially stunning. That's just me. What did you think?
So we should say that for context, she says this is a reborn version of the smiley googly look that she wore on her initial season, which I don't remember. She wanted to do a tie-in for her finale runway to her first season. And there is a moment where it lights up. And my thought was, well, maybe on a
Ooh.
darker stage, it would have looked better. Um, I thought it was fine. I feel like we saw this look two other times this season, and
Mm-hmm.
she does stay very much in her lane, and I respect that for her. But I feel like if she ever came back on another season anywhere else, bring in Sminty, if you're listening, bring in more color, bring in
Yeah.
more like interesting fabrics. You have a stunning silhouette. Like there's a lot of black and white. There's a lot of silver. Like that's just my memory of most of your runways. But like, do you agree or disagree?
I gotta be so honest, Greg. I thought her entire runway package of the season was just like a slight tier below what I was expecting. And I feel bad. You should never base it off expectations
Yeah.
overall. But like, she came off in her UK season as like, I'm gonna be this fashion forward diva queen. Like, it really felt like a whole thing. And then ultimately, just kind of was like, oh, she had a lot of good ideas. And like, I think she just got lost a little bit in the execution with some of them. And I think she got way lost in the execution on this one. It just feels like she kept to a very strict color palette. I felt like the ideas she had were in that that serious fashion world. I didn't get that sense of fun that I was expecting from her that we've seen in other iterations. So I don't know. By the way, at the top of the episode, we were going to talk about other things that we in the Drag Race world. You met page three. I think we completely glossed over
Oh
that.
yeah.
So just the divas are divaing. That's all we can say. It's a lovely
Yes.
time. Yeah.
Oh my God, I completely forgot that. But I'll bring that up in a second, actually, when we get
Mhm.
towards the end of the episode.
Hell yeah.
But because there's a tie-in to someone on this episode. So
Hmm.
Serena is up next.
Zarai.
Zaraya.
Yeah.
Lord, guys, we are tired. It is hot.
It's been a long
It is
season,
long
y'all. It's
season.
8 episodes, felt like 12,
But
let's say.
Serena Moreno is up and my reaction is just, it's a beautiful gown. It's a great gown. I liked her wig. I thought her makeup was not great. What did you think of her finale look?
I kind of liked it. Like it's
That's
like the thing
okay.
is that when you have this giant like red thing and then you have all these like little black kind of not completely symmetrical like diamond accessories on there, it gave watermelon, which kind of was an interesting thing. Her mug, I will say, is fascinating though because she looks like this like kind of like stamped out 1940s, 1950s diva. Like there is just so much paint going on, it almost feels excessive. But it's like kind of this like almost like again throwback beauty kind of thing. I didn't mind the mug in the same way. It just looked very classy. It was very good for her overall. Whatever my expectations for her one way are, because Greg and I did watch Mexico season one. She really blew past him. She had such an elevation versus my expectations, unlike Sminty. And I thought she looked beautiful. It was lovely.
It was very lovely. By the way, Evan, did Bones just win season 8 of UK or season 7?
Seven, seven.
Okay, so we are 10 seasons in of UK Drag Race, correct? 10
Yes,
with
we
10
are.
queens. And Zahira comes out in another UK flag based look. And first of all, I love that she was manifesting. She thought she was going to win. I love it, girl. I love it so much. But there needs to be a stop to this. Granted, we are Americans. We
Mhm.
probably we are most of the viewers of Drag Race
No more Marie Antoinette
are
looks.
we're
That's
we're also slightly liberal. We sort of cringe whenever like our US queens like do a red, white, and blue American flag. Like that's not something that we love. Even
only
when
Jackie
there's
Cox can get away with it. Right,
That's
exactly.
right. Even when there's a Democrat in power, we're like, I don't know if we love this. But more importantly, she looked great, but we need to stop it. No more Marie Antoinette. You know what? The next time we see Michelle, I'm literally telling her this. We need to stop this. It's too much. Did you have any other thoughts on this look?
It's not great. It is, and I think the worst part is that she under accessorizes this, which is like the thing is, so you have this Union Jack thing. Oh, there's the black and white. It comes live. It comes off of here. So basically, you have this nude, like shoulder up, from tits up. It's basically nude, and you have this wimpy little blue, like whisper of a necklace going around, and then you have basically all this bare skin doing nothing, and it just feels like there's just a break in the texture. It just feels off. And it's like the whole that kind of feels like my feelings about her entire runway package. Like she's had a couple of wow moments, but overall it's just been like okay. And again, I not was never gonna win, and I wish her the best, but this was not the finale look I was hoping for from her. So yeah.
So the look that has been quietly, if anyone's paying attention, polarizing. The only Naomi comes out in this alien look. She says kind of alien look, which is, by the way, her
Mhm.
words, not mine. Um, and the mug, utterly spectacular.
Stunning.
So incredible, stunning. I thought the outfit on this stage was okay. I liked the
Mm.
shoes. I thought the boots were fun. But then she did a photo shoot of the look off the stage, and it looks 1,000 times better.
Hmm.
And it's not a like doctored up photo shoot. So again, we've talked many times on many seasons how sometimes the stage for some looks just does not do them justice. I I think maybe in hindsight she would have done something else, but I did love the mug was just like top tier. What did you think of the Only Naomi's finale alien look?
It was not an all-time stunner. I'll say that right there. It was a conceptual look. It gave me Bowie. That is the thing where I kind of
Oh,
felt like that was a good reference. I feel like other queens have done Bowie-esque, and this kind of felt like it was in the universe, but not direct, not exactly. I thought the way she carved out her cheeks with that makeup was incredible. Do wish that there was
yes.
a necklace or just something else for there was this
Hmm.
little bit of a V line that happened over there. Overall, it was lovely. It was an unusual thing for a finale look,
Hmm.
but she's gonna beat by. She didn't win, so she's gonna go do it whatever she wants, and I think she's stunning. I'm still, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Absolutely, absolutely incredible. This diva is incredible. Yeah.
Yo, I love her. We need her to get to the US to perform here. I'd love to see her. Um, so then we're up to our top four. Fontana comes out first, and it is a Brazilian themed look that she says once again references Brazilian birds, which she's now done, I think, 4 times
Hmm.
on the season, which is fine. And also Swedish fish too. I loved the idea of the look. I thought it was incredibly made, but because of the fabric and what it is, the legs look so heavy. It just looks like these heavy legs that are dragging her down. And I wish that there'd been another option there. But in general, it's a stunningly made costume, perfect for Carnival. Um, it's great drag. I don't know if it's top tier drag. It's great drag. But again, the
Hmm.
legs just looked like they were dragging her to the floor. What did you think?
Listen. I know you've derided me for this before, but I'm going to bring it up again. I talk about focal point on here, and it's the kind of thing where there
Mm,
doesn't need to be a single point or anything else like that. But usually, when I see an outfit, I need to know what the concept is. I need to know where to look. I need to know things like that. You think about Gawdland's Elton John look, you immediately know where to go, and you could drink in the details as you go on, but you know what to
mm,
look at. For this hooker right here, let me tell you, I don't know where the focal point is. I don't. The thing is, there's so many ideas. There's so much color happening on here that it just feels like, as you described, bulky. But specifically with the legs, there's the almost like these flare outs, like these little like they're trying to do scales
yeah.
kind of, but they just kind of like accentuate, and it doesn't look fashion. It looks like, wow, those are some wide ass legs that you have. Like it just the whole thing almost does disservice to her like body shape, and it just feels
Mm,
incongruous. Like I just low key, and I mean this in the kindest and fashionable way. I feel uncomfortable looking at this because I just don't know what the shape is supposed to be. Like it doesn't know what it wants to be. And that's the part where it just feels like there's too many ideas kind of colliding with each other. I'm sure in her mind it's so fashion. For me, I'm just like, okay, it's nice. It's well constructed. I'm not going to deny that. I just don't feel the oomph.
Evan, did you have nightmares from this look? Have you had nightmares
Uh
since?
no, none of them were Melinda Virgo looks. So I think that is
Oh!
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Anyway.
Up next is Gawdland doing a stunning, gorgeous white glamour gown look, giving royalty. It appears also to be a slight reference to a look that the Thai representation, I don't know if she won Miss World, but from Miss World also in
Hmm.
2025, um, also wore, or maybe it's 2024 before she shot this. Um,
Hmm.
I loved it. I thought it was sophisticated and classy, and she's shown a such a breadth of fashion and looks throughout the season. She hadn't really done this before until the finale, and I just pitch perfect. Loved it.
Exact same. It's the thing where she had been such the queen of opulence and extravagance. It is a hell of a time to pull out something understated, to put out something regal, to put out something so much more quiet. But she's never going to do quiet in that way. It just feels so mature and serene and so well thought out. And it's just like she just. It showed that there's more layers to her, and to find that in her on the finale, incredible. Knew when to pull it out too. Like there's something to say about knowing when to use a look and when not to, if you're winning the season or not. Do you want to hold on to that stunner? I think she played this so well. Just nothing but praise. Nothing but praise.
Um, Up next was Kate, and I will be very honest. This is the best gown that Kate has ever worn.
Hmm.
I was super impressed with it. She is doing an English rose, an English red rose. There's even oh my gosh, what do you call them? On her legs, there's
Thorns, yes.
thorns on her legs. But the gown itself is stunning. Her mug is still her mug. The
Hmm.
wig is beautiful. Um, I can't say it was great. I thought it was fantastic, and it for what this she needed to do on this episode, even though ironically none of them would ever be crowned in these outfits, which they did or did not know. She looked Regal and fantastic. What did you think?
Pretty much the exact same thing. Like it wasn't the stunner on the same way that a Gawdland's was, but it was extremely good. And I hate the qualifier of for her, but genuinely for her, it was such a step up. There was
Yeah.
just a lot of beauty going on. The thorns, probably the only thing I'd give a demerit on because they looked a little bit more costumey. I think he maybe could have thrown a
Yes.
little bit
She
more
didn't need
sparkle or
them.
something on there. But at the same time, the headpiece, this giant waving interweaving thing of like trees and branches, it's lovely. So yes.
It was a conceived look.
100%.
Last but not least was Mariah, and she is doing 1920s flapper, Art Disco Divine dress. That's what she wants to say it is, sure. Like I'm
Sure.
all
Let's
sure.
do it.
If
Yeah.
that's yeah, okay. But it's a very pretty gown. It's also the most sparkly gown anyone is wearing on this entire runway, which she got. I'm not lucky, but like smart to think that. And a beautiful headpiece. Thought the headpiece was great too. Also, she might have gotten this in a Hollywood costume shop and just brought, which by the way, that's we're all for reusability, like all good. I hope she did. Any other thoughts on this 20s inspired look?
Amazing headpiece, pretty good dress. That's kind of how I felt about it. Like that's that my brief summary. Yes.
So we then have the judges' critiques. Evan, there was only one part of all of this that really stood out to me. And that part would be when they ask the pageant question to the queens, why do you think the world needs drag more than ever? Did you have
Mhm.
any other thoughts on this sort of back and forth with the judges, this love
I
affair with
mean,
all of them?
it was unilateral praise, and that always bores me because I really feel like we're not getting any new critiques out of it. I feel like if they're actually going to critique him, they should. But overall, like yeah, nothing major. This is interesting though because normally it's just like, why do you need to be queen of the world? Why do you and not your competitors, etc. And so this was a little bit more of a serious thing. And to their credit, they all took it pretty seriously. Some more seriously than others, some more emotional than others. But it was an interesting change.
Fontana gave a very smart pageant answer. The only thing I'll paraphrase about it, she does mention the favela. Did I pronounce that correctly? From like the I think I
Yes.
can
Yeah. Yeah.
close.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
basically the slums of Rio or São Paulo,
Hmm.
where she grew up. And she brought up the fact that art and drag can inspire so many others. It was 100% the most pageant-esque answer out of all four of them, and it felt a little contrived, like she'd had it in the back of her hand all this time. But that's okay. That's what they want. Um, Godland said, basically actually had the shortest response. Maybe that's expected, but she said very simply, I hope this journey will inspire the kids who don't belong
Hmm.
and dream big and you will make it happen. And I
Hmm.
think she made Rue laugh once again. Um, any takeaway from either Fontana or Godland's sort of pageant answers?
No.
No. Kate, though, gives a very thought out, very smart. Kate's super smart. But
Hmm.
also, by the way, I will say, if you watch her interview with Godland, she is smart as a tack. It's just English
Yeah.
is not her first language. So,
Hmm.
so just because she doesn't say something doesn't mean that she's not thinking 10 steps ahead of all the other queens she's in. But she's smart
My
as F.
my favorite thing is when you ask her about the tour, she's like, "Well, Greg, that was confidential."
Ah.
I thought that was so good. But yeah, it's such a good sport.
Such a good sport.
Anyway.
But Kate says, about how the queer community is in danger. She has tears. Hmm? I literally put oi. Uh, and here's the thing that got me worried. The music is literally telling you they are crowning her. They have this super emotional music playing while Kate does her thing. And to be very fair, I don't know if Evan did, but we have access to the episode until the finale, a couple days before. So I watched this like 48 hours before, and I didn't know who was going to win. We'll get there, but this was the one of the moments where I was like, well, I just got to come to the realization that Kate might win. Did you think
Hmm.
the same or no?
I didn't actually at this moment though, because the fact that she was getting such an emotional answer, like, yeah, it plays into her and the edit that she had going, but the other thing I shared with you beforehand was that I was, not that there's multiple polls, there's multiple social medias for things, but I was looking at the Are You Team Fontana, other things like that
Yeah.
on the internet there. And man, for winning two challenges and being from the UK, there was not a lot of support from the fans for
Mm-mm.
Kate. It was Fontana almost by default at number two, and then a fucking breakaway for Gawdland, and then there's the others, which is just wild to kind of see over there. But there's that part of me that's like, will they just go through and push this as this been destined to do so many times? Will we have to get the Tia Coffee merch shirt of pushed by production and wear it yet again for another season? But that's the thing. Where at this point in the thing, I actually didn't know only because I saw the social media beforehand, and like
Hmm.
it would seem odd, but they fucked it up before too. So I'm not willing to put my bets down on anything. I didn't have a definitive read on it at this time.
I have a point I want to make when we get to the episode that ties into this, so I will not forget it. But this idea of the difference in the likes and there's
Yeah,
something
yeah.
else going on here,
Okay.
but which is still great.
Analysis.
Analysis. But Mariah also, I can't remember what she said, but it also felt like Mariah was not prepared for this question and
Yeah.
sort of talked off the top of her head and something about not giving up on dreams or something about that. Mariah, we love you. I'm not really sure what was going on here. But then we find out the queens go back in. They wait in the workroom before I think they're changing or they're sitting for some reason. Oh
Mhm.
no, are they sitting with the other queens after
No,
like?
they're just sitting by themselves. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're sitting by themselves, and
Yeah.
it does come up that Gawdland has never won a lip sync because
Hmm.
she's never had to be in a lip sync. Remember that. But they come back out on the stage, and our Miss Congeniality, Serena Moreno, gets to spin the wheel that will tell us who the first queen is, who will be part of the first lip sync for the crown. And I do love that they kept in just to prove that it wasn't, you know, what do you call it? Like rigged. That the
Hmm.
first time it goes around, it ends on spin again, and everybody laughs, and Serena looks embarrassed, and they do it one more time, and up first is who? Who is
Oh,
up first?
sorry. Oh yeah. So I was just thinking for a second, like, wait a second. No, Godlet did. She did the top two lip sync at the start because they did the tattoo by Loreen, and that was against Fontana. So she did lip sync at least that, but she hasn't won, right? And she's
She
never
is
been
a
in the bottom.
yes. She's never
Got
won,
it.
and she's never been to
Yes.
the bottom.
Oh, well,
Uh,
first off, Serena spins the wheel, and you know what it does, Greg? It lands on spin again. That's what it does. So
right.
I
We
think
realize that. Yeah.
that low key, creep that in the edit. And then the other thing is that I will say it finally lands, and yes, we finally get Mariah. Mariah gets the power to choose her opponent.
And
Greg,
I'm
what
going to be
should she have
honest,
done? Go ahead. Yes.
Evan. I need to see Mariah's PayPal. I need to see her Venmo because something tells me some little birdie said, if you don't pick Kate, we'll send you
Maybe
$10,000 to your PayPal. It's
it was
only
Alaska. We
conspiracy.
can't tell
It would
exactly. Yes,
not
yes.
only that to get themselves out of it. World of Wonder had Alaska do it and not send it themselves. Um, so there'd be no paper trail. But I was shocked when she selected Gotland.
Mhm.
And she talks about it in the confessional. I think that her idea is like take out the competition first.
Mhm.
Which, by the way, not a bad idea. Again, why she would not pick Kate is crazy. I think she would have destroyed Kate. But also, Kate saved her, remember? So maybe that
Yes.
was part of it too. Um, the first song is a song that no one outside of the UK probably knows. It's called Broken Heels by X Factor winner Alexandra Burke. Alexandra Burke is she's like one at like the um oh my God, who won American Idol first in the US?
Kelly Clarkson.
She's like the Kelly Clarkson of UK X Factor.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's Mariah versus Godland. What did you think of this lip sync, Evan?
So after this episode aired, I immediately went back and I played the iconic Pangina Hills Janie Jacquet Venga Bus lip sync from
Uh,
season one of UK versus the World. But there was release. I mean, you all have heard me and Greg talk about how we think that this is a season. The UK versus specifically has been known for iconic lip syncs, and I don't think UK 3 has been cutting the bill outside of course, Crazy Frog. But
yeah.
with that said, this was one of the better ones. Even though it was a little bit chunky
Mm.
at times, this was absolutely one of the better lip syncs that happened. Mariah doing a lot more athletics than we've ever seen. She did a broken, busted ass attempt at a cartwheel that very much made it to the edit. That was a very unfortunate. But outside of that, she's doing the split slide and other things like
The
that. What are you thinking?
the
Yeah,
split slide with her
yeah,
knees. I was like,
yeah.
and also perfectly timed. She did it after Godland had already done a split. it, I'm going to be honest, Evan, you could make the argument in a court of law that Mariah won this lip sync. And Gawdland was a little shaky. Like, I did not think that she was as ready for this song as the other ones. And I'm not saying that Mariah won, but I'm not saying that Mariah won.
That
But
said, Gauntlet did a great job. Like that's the thing. She still knew what to do. She
yeah.
did the Broken Hill wobbly thing. Like she played into the comedy of it. Like she did a couple like really cute little moments here and there. So like it's I agree. I will say that Mariah absolutely impressed me to no end. But also, it's the kind of thing where not to this didn't feel like the same degree as Marina versus Hannah doing Anastasia. This didn't feel like a completely unjust or why the fuck did this happen kind of
Oh
elimination. This
no.
was a closer call, but I mean, I feel like the production was going to go the way that it was going to go. So
Right. No one got robbed. It was super
yeah.
close. I want to give Mariah her flowers though. So on Monday night, I went to Showgirls because our girl, page three, was in the US. In fact, I need to still post on our Worldwide T Instagram some videos of her performing.
Yeah.
She was fucking incredible. She's actually, if you're in the Los Angeles area, she's still in town. She's been here for about 10 days, maybe 2 weeks. And she's going
Hmm.
to be at Hamburger Mary's on Friday night, performing, I think, with Trinity. So get in line, go see her perform. She is, let me tell you, she blew away Hershey Liqueur, who, by the way, is so much better than she used to be. Hershey was great, but Paige destroyed her. And then Scarlet Envy, who was still very good, but Paige is just a star. And she did it in
Hmm.
front of Bianca Del Rio and Naomi and Plastique, who are all there out of drag to see her. She's just incredible. So I'm going to be honest. I used to always have a list of other queens who I was like, I hope they get on US Drag Race,
Uh-huh.
like Tamara Thomas and Tace and Benamini and all that stuff. And Ahura, nope. Page three. I want to see page three on a US audience. But anyway, what I wanted to just say really quickly is during this night, it's Showgirls night, and the queens are
Yeah.
going around and they're getting dollars and tips. And guess who the queen who less than 12 hours later was going to have her episode where she is in the top four of a globally watched Drag Race episode, air to the world, where she's in the finale. Guess what Mariah Balenciaga was doing at Showgirls on this night?
What was she doing at Showgirls, Greg?
She was supporting her queens and taking the tip bucket and picking dollars off the floor for all of the queens. All of them. Aurora Sexton, her friend Morgan, all of them. She did not need to do this, but that's the kind of queen she is. And so if I don't have enough drink in here, but Mariah, you did yourself proud. You fucking listen, many of us knew who the top four of the season was about 9 months ago. And
Hmm.
we all were like, oh, production had to get an American in there at the end. They had to do it. And Mariah, you proved us wrong. You deserved
Hmm.
it. There's no moment where you got ahead of somebody else. Like maybe somebody else screwed up, but you made it, and you might have still won that lip sync that you got saved with by Kate anyway. So
Hmm.
because it would have been her versus Serena Moreno. Like she
She
could
would
have
be
won that song.
Fontana.
So uh I feel like Mariah did herself well, and she did better than Mo Hart. She did better than I don't think she did as well as Scarlet Envy.
She didn't
Scarlet
do
got
it.
robbed.
She didn't do better at Mo Hart. Mo Hart was top two,
I
right?
know, but Mo, I mean, come on. No one
Yeah.
remembers that Mo was top two. They remember
Yeah.
Jujubee being on the season and Jujubee killing it except having horrible runways. That's what they
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah. She
Maybe
should
I'm
have been
wrong.
eliminated. Anyway, yes.
Anyway, so that's our love for Mariah Balenciaga, our LA local queen, and the ballroom diva and legend. But it's time for the second lip sync. And it's Kate Butch versus Fontana, lip syncing to Right on Time by Black Box, a classic early 90s dance song. And Kate Butch tells the story producers in the conventional, I'm going to have a camp old time. And here's the thing. If someone had said to you, Evan, if you know this song, that Fontana was going to lip sync against Kate Butch to Ride on Time, who would you have put money on, on at Vegas or online? Like, who would you have bet would win?
I I mean, I would have put Kate Butch. It's a camp song, but
No,
like
it
that's the
isn't.
thing. I mean, no. What are the words, Greg? It is
Right
right
on
on
time.
time.
But it's a
Right
dance.
on time.
It's a
Right.
massive dance song. It's a club dance
Yeah.
song.
Right. And it's the kind of thing where, if, like, before we even talk about this thing, first off, Greg, can you, for the audience at home and listening on audio only, what the fuck is Fontana wearing? What
That's
is
the
she
okay.
wearing? Yeah,
That's what you would.
that's the thing. Yeah.
That's what you would not have known before you spent your money, because she comes out in this massive, gigantic black wig, and she still has not said publicly what her plan was or what the goal was. Everyone thinks there's a reveal with it. I'm not sure there was a reveal with it. And through the entire lip sync, she is holding the wig. Kate is not good in this lip sync. Kate is just doing bullshit. And Kate wins it because Fontana is holding her head, trying to go up and down with the wig. It is one of the most bizarre, like, strategic errors in a finale of any Drag Race season I have ever seen. Thoughts?
It's not the butterflies of Asia O'Hara level, but y'all, it is still just weird because, like, and Kate does say, like, yep, she's got to reveal this giant coat thing into, a spangly bodysuit, ooh, woo, like, it's certainly there. But it's just the wig. I thought it was going to break into another wig. I thought there's going to be something else. She's going to pull out a prop. Nope. She's at the very end. She's headbanging with it while holding it, and I'm like, is it supposed to come off? Like, I'm just so straight, like, it's just all of it is just feels so incongruous. It's like it was hers to wear, it was hers to lose, I guess, whatever, but girl, she lost it. Like, it's just truly stunning. Absolutely, she has the face for it. We saw it in Crazy Frog. It just doesn't translate here.
Listen, as someone who was in the theater that witnessed the Butterfly Massacre,
Yes.
I would like to say that if she had heated them correctly, it would not have been a strategic error. But this was always a strategic error. Like, that's the difference to me. Like, there was no, unless she just didn't do it and got scared. I am stunned that we are now 36 hours later and she hasn't said a word about this. She's done everything else, but very wild to me. Maybe she's saving it for a Joseph Shepard podcast. Um,
But Greg, I need to ask you a question though. With this giant wig, do you think that wig was intentionally made this giant so that it could prevent the steam coming off of her head when she's told she didn't win the lip sync? Because that was my other theory as to why it's as big as it is.
I do like that theory. I do like that theory. So Kate, though, still acts shocked that she wins. She did not think, because, to be honest, again, if we were on a neutral playing field, she did not think she'd ever beat Fontana in a lip sync, and we know that too. But Fontana isn't. And I'm not going to say she looks angry. She looks. What did you think? What was her reaction to you?
Oh, she pageant mode comes on. It's
Yeah.
not as bad as oh my God, it wasn't, who was that one queen from España who immediately put on pageant mode? The one Crystal Forever, who, like, could go from,
Oh,
like, bitter bitch to just shink. I had a lovely time. Thank you so much for having me. Like,
yeah.
it wasn't that degree of, like, Dr. Jekyll and Mrs. Hyde kind of thing, but there was definitely a professional front that came on over here. And it's just like, again, as the season goes on, it's just like I truly don't know who Fontana is, if I'm being so real. Like, for someone who is so confident and so extravagant and all this other stuff, like, there, it was like I just every chance I get to see of the quote unquote real her, it's someone who is defensive, bitter, and, like, is celebrating her own victories. And it's just this, like, it just is so aggravating. So there was this part of me that's like, I could see a little bit through the mask on there. I could see that she was definitely pressed that she didn't make it to top two like she had in her original season. But at the same time, it's like, you got served what you got served. That wig was a mistake, and unfortunately, no one was going to tell you don't do that, girl, because they wanted to see you fall, and it worked.
And let's not forget, she has one last bit where she takes money out of her chest and gives it to Rue and is like, "Please, please, can I stay?" S
My husband spotted that during the lip sync, and it's just like, when were you going to take that out? Were you saving it for the finale lip sync because you
Mhm.
were that confident? And apparently so.
Yes. My take on Fontana is she's super talented. We
Absolutely.
won't disagree that. No, she wanting it so much has gotten her this far. No, no, it's
Yes.
true. It's gotten her this
Yeah. Yeah.
far.
100%.
So I'm
100%.
sure in her mind she's like, if I have this mentality and I do this, this is how I've gotten further than anyone ever would have dreamed. But as a long-term strategy, she's not getting invited to Global All-Stars 2 if they ever do it. She's probably not getting invited to Canada. Well, they're not doing Canada versus the world or Down Under versus whatever too. Like I, if they ever do a Brazilian All-Stars, I don't know if they'll invite her. But it has created a career for her. I'm happy for her. I loved her before the season started. I don't know if I love her anymore. And that's
Yeah.
what's sad to me.
You know who I ended up watching compete on not their original Swedish season and ended up loving quite a bit? Vanity Vane. Who,
Yeah.
by the way, like there's someone who completely, even though she was in the bottom a whole fucking lot, she still was fantastic in almost every possible way. So it's like, just different strokes for people. I know there's a lot of fans that are still going to defend Fontana, and absolutely there's extremely good reason to. It really felt like it wasn't her time, and I think she kind of proved that. That's all I'll say.
So before the final lip sync between Gawdland and Kate, our reigning 2-year queen of the Mother Tuckin world, Tia Coffee, comes out in a gown with swords in her. Because remember, nobody thought she should win. Get it?
Hmm.
She's doing a gown because everyone hates her. And it's her with swords in it because she's a martyr. Well, the martyr dress barely lets her walk down the stage. I also didn't love the dress. I thought it was eh. What did you think of Tia's return?
Martyr, I hardly know her. I'm kidding. The thing is that overall, like the dress is like it's good. It doesn't have that wow factor that you sometimes
Yeah.
expect from a certain step down dress, because if we're gonna talk about step down dresses, girl, let's go back to the source. Let's go back to the couture from season 2 with the giant like winged look that she had. Like there's been some incredible ones throughout the years. For this particular instance, I will say that I love the melted accessories thing because even though she has all the stuff stabbing her heart, this
Hmm.
crown that is melted over here, the scepter jutting out of her shoulder but turning into this black sludge, such a cool idea. I like the deconstruction aspect. I wish it had more impact, but overall this was like it's pretty good. Like it didn't blow me
Hmm.
away, but it was like I've seen worse at the same time.
She could have called
Virgo Queen.
Marmalade.
Sorry, I had something in my throat. Sorry, apologies. Continue.
She could have called Marmalade. Marmalade would
Yeah.
help. Um, but Gawdland and Kate come out. They're in brand new outfits, which amazing for them. Like I don't know if I remember the last time they let them change lip sync outfits, which
Hmm.
is great. And by the way, I don't remember exactly what she said, but we are getting a Kate edit. There's literally twice as much time of Kate doing a confessional as Gawdland. The only thing that Gawdland says right before the lip sync, she says she has some tricks up her sleeve, which is a tease that she might do a stunt or whatever. The lip sync is to "What Do I Have to Do" by Kylie Minogue, which is a deep, deep cut. I have seen Kylie Minogue 4 times in the last 2 years. I've literally seen her do 2-hour shows. She does not do this song. It's a known staple of Kylie, but this song is so old and such a deep cut. She does not do it. Um, Evan, please share your thoughts on what, to be honest, was a pretty great lip sync.
A pretty great lip sync. I did not like this song, Greg. I'm sorry. This just felt like such a weak sauce fucking
Yeah,
song, if I'm
great.
being. Because remember last time they did it, it was Your Disco Needs You. And
Hmm.
that one felt so much more appropriate to it. It had more amp on here. This one has a barely changing beat. Whatever. I'm getting beside the point. Overall, it's kind of exactly what you expect from this lip sync in the best way. Because Kate, she's doing the Kate thing. She's giving you the camp. She's doing the dance move. She's using her little gray sarong type thing and making it happen. And Gawdland in this little tie color flag bodysuit, she's doing the splits. She's doing the, like giving you energy, and it's the kind of thing where because they're doing their reflective styles so well, it kind of almost makes a balance to a degree. Like, yes, we know for a fact Kate isn't going to do splits and stuff like that, but at the same time, Godland's doing things. She's doing the back bends on there. Kate's doing a little bit of the knee pound. Like, there's certain things that are happening. It feels good, but like they're kind of in tandem. Like, it's the kind of thing where I'm not sure if it's because they're performing at this level or if the edit's giving them a little bit of edge. Like, well, Rue could call it either way and they'd be justified.
Mm.
But it's pretty good. It's not iconic. It's not next level iconic, but it is a pretty good lip sync. What am I missing?
I slightly disagree with you. So
Okay.
this is my take on the lip sync. I've watched it twice, maybe three
Okay.
times. So here's the
Five
thing: the
times.
first half of the lip sync, and by the way, bless the UK because they, unlike the US, which sometimes gives us 70-second lip syncs, this was at least 90 seconds, maybe longer.
Hmm.
Gawdland goes to the back. she spends a little too much time in the back. She does her split in the back. Kate's up front. Kate really knows the words and is
Hmm.
doing all of her Kate shtick, which, by the way, it's not an insult, but that's just what she will tell you. That's what she does. But then in the second half of the lip sync, Gawdland pulls out the string,
Hmm.
perfectly timed to the
Hmm.
moment, and you're like sort of, and for a moment you go, okay, that's cute, but like, if you've seen enough drag, you've seen that sort of trick before.
Pangina did the same thing on UK
Yeah.
versus one, right? Yep.
Which, by the way, might have been a reference for Pangina. But then she comes back and she does this backwards sliding split, and the girls go nuts. And she literally steals the entire lip sync. And when they kept the audio from the girls, and it's not just Sahira, it's Naomi, it's all of them. They are living, and they're not living for Kate, they're living for Gawdland, and they are blown away by her. That's when I was like, oh shit, she can win. Because they would not have kept that in if they were going to crown Kate. Because it would have looked like they stole the crown from her. And also, let's remember, Rue never says that this is based on the season. She makes it this is a lip sync for the crown. Like she doesn't pull the whole thing she does with the US like based on the entire season and your lip sync.
Yeah.
It's not that. So that's the one moment where I was like, oh wait, Gawdland might be able to win this. But the edit was
Also,
all Kate.
right. Also, where did she keep the streamer on her? I could not clock
Oh
when she pulled
yeah.
that out. It was like she's in this tight little bodysuit. Maybe there's a pocket I can't see, but like
Yeah.
it just is like flows. It is just so instant. Right. Yeah.
But when her fellow contestants went that wild, I was like, oh. So that was the special part to me. That made this a
Mhm.
great lip sync. This is way better than Hannah versus Tia, or Blue versus Mo. Like this is a way more memorable lip sync. Um, but the queens get to their moment on the stage, and Evan, just for just anyone who randomly started this podcast halfway through, Rue announces who the winner is. And please include the 10-second pause for no reason
The additional
in the edit.
pause. The additional pause just to make sure, because that's right. After a long time, you may have not have thought it was going to be possible out of all possibilities, but Greg, it's true. Venus Deluxe has won UK. Oh, sorry, I'm getting my notes wrong. Sorry, that's my fantasy recap. Ignore that.
Mm,
Gawdland pulls the fucking thing out the bag. It is not a triple hat of UK winners. It is
nope.
someone not from the UK who has finally won goddamn UK versus the world, and it is just a soothing ball. My favorite part of all of it is right afterwards when they do the confessional look, and Gawdland isn't even in her chair during the confession. She's behind her chair. She's just screaming about the fact that she won UK versus. And again, she recorded that a year ago before finally
Pretending.
finding out. Right,
Pretending.
exactly, exactly. And so she didn't really actually know. And Greg, you wanted to bring it up at the top of the episode, though. What does this mean? What does
Well,
this fucking win mean?
it means a lot. Before I get to that, I really did want to ask you. I can't remember. Had you had it spoiled before you watched or no?
I did.
Okay. Sadly, you did.
I know, but
I did not.
literally like 20
I
minutes beforehand.
listen,
So that's
listen.
that irritated me all the
Evan
more.
has a 9 to 7 or 6 job. He's working his ass off, so he
Yeah,
can't always watch when some of these drop. I
yeah,
watched literally the second it came on. I fast
yeah.
forwarded, watched the entire lip sync again, waited for the reveal, and I screamed. I screamed joy. I was so
We
happy.
had no reason to believe. We had no reason to believe at all. That's
None.
the thing. That's the thing.
Yeah, I was so happy. I'd even been like looking into like the timing of like when they set because they set the interview with us with the winner. We didn't know who it was. By the
Hmm.
way, the PR team for World of Wonder didn't know either because BBC wouldn't tell them. So we did, she they just knew they were setting up an interview with someone. But I was like, is this too late for it to be in Bangkok? Is this too late for it to be in the
Hmm.
UK? In fact, as you can tell, I think we caught Gawdland in between shows.
She's
Um,
like in a closet. Like
she's
it's
she's
kind
at
of
she's at her drag
yeah.
bar, like full drag doing it. But I think if you go this, by the way, I've been talking to friends about this. If you look online, this is the biggest reaction to an international queen winner, maybe since Kiona. Like,
Hmm.
uh, Mami Wada had a huge reaction, but I looked back at the numbers. It's nothing like this. Like
Mhm.
and also if you look at the comments, there were so many queens from the US, from the UK, from Asia, from Mexico, from Europe who were rooting for her so much because what it means is that she broke through. It means
Mhm.
that they can go on an international season and they can win. They're not Raja going from the US to Canada to win a Canadian season, which is, you know, we're very in close countries, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Brooke's friend, by the way, I still think Roger deserved to win, so I'm not going to be whatever. Or that's it. That's the only other international winner of a. Oh, and Jimbo rightly won All Stars, but
Yeah.
like had already gone through the gauntlet of two other seasons. This
Right.
is completely different, and it means so much that it means that an international winner can win Down Under versus the World. It means an international winner could win Global All Stars because Rue has now decided, okay, I'm open to this now. I'm open to
Hmm.
not just making the host country happy. Um,
Hmm.
does that mean that we'll get an international winner of Slasian Royale or of Latina Royale? I don't know. But at least there's a
Latino Royale is a little
chance.
bit different. Exactly. Latino Royale is just a little bit different because it feels like Mexico as a host country, it is certainly, we're having the Mexico host. It doesn't seem like it's going to be the gimme that it's going to be, but again, I could be completely wrong about that. It's still fantastic. It feels like again, I encourage everyone to go onto the Worldwide T YouTube. Why haven't you subscribed already? What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Because also the interview is fascinating too because I don't want to spoil too much of it because you just need to hear the very tired but still up for it Gawdland go into it. She is blunt about her reaction to the last season. Again, Greg and I talk about the
Yep.
merch we're going to get made, which is you don't have to watch Thailand season 3, and we still mean that though. But you
Yeah.
know who agrees with us? Fucking Gawdland. Like
Yes.
she says that she did not like her run on her season. It's kind of like one of those things that like really like go ahead and clarify, please. Yes.
No. You're absolutely right. I just wanted to add on to that because I didn't mean to interrupt your point, but she also insinuates that there was things on that production that were not good, like that it was not a good experience. Not
Hmm.
just what she did, but the experience was bad, which is what all the rumors was, is that the entire production was a mess. And I'm just so happy for her that she got to show her true self or a better version of herself, like in this context. It just means so much. It means that it's funny. You tell me if you disagree with this. I actually think international queens will be weary of doing if they do UK versus the world season 4, as opposed to I still legally don't think they can do UK All Stars. If they do season 4, if you're an international queen, you probably think, well, there's no way they'll do two in a row. But it might make you think, I'm going to do Slasian Royale or I'm going to do Latina Royale season 2 or 3 or whatever because I know I have a shot because the door has been opened.
Hmm.
So, or I'll do global because I don't have to think they're going to crown Jujubee or whoever the
Right.
US icon they bring back for that. So, do you agree with me or no?
I know I agree with that. I get it. If what would have happened had it been Kate? If it had been Kate, then we would basically have a Slasian situation where they bring in like, well, let's bring in this low ranking queen from season. Let's bring in Orion Story. Let's bring in like all these other like lower
Mm-hmm.
lesser girls to try and compete and not have a chance
Oh,
at all. Like it would have just been so defeated. Orion Story's ears just perked up. She's like, Orion Story mentioned.
somewhere in the
Like
wilderness, Orion Story's ears perk.
yeah, like some of Starlet from UK
Yes.
season 4, like these other, like there would have been just it would have been just lesser, queens or queens who didn't do as well on their season, La Kahana for a fourth time or whatever. Like it would have been not great, and so the fact that this breakthrough needed to happen is what I'm trying
Yeah.
to say. If they didn't do this, they would have absolutely sank the franchise. It would have been biased forever. No way in hell a queen is ever going to win it. And it was just kind of a refreshing change of pace. And low key, let's just give credit where it is. Canada versus the world, even though they crowned an America season for the first season, they crowned the non-Canadian. So I got to give them credit. In fact, even the top
Yeah.
two didn't even have Canadians in it. So I thought
Yeah.
that was even better. And so overall, there are so many reasons to celebrate Gawdland, but also at the same time, she proved that this is what you want in an All-Star season. You want someone who did not as great on their original season completely blow away their expectations to prove why they deserved it. And to be fair to the other girls, I'm not sure how I would quantify Fontana in this, but Mariah, she proved that she can actually have the chops to be in this competition format after having two seasons that didn't play into her favor. Kate Butch, while she was kind of the easy favorite, she also, like, she stepped up her game considerably. Not as much as the level of Gotland had, but credit is where credit is. The girls did the thing, and it's kind of a wonderful moment. It's just nice to know that sometimes in all the darkness that surrounds us, a good thing can happen sometimes. And this was
Yeah.
unquestionably a good thing.
And I just want to say, we don't know for a fact who they asked and who said no to do
Yeah.
this season. I know for a fact, because she has said it, that Tace has been asked many times to
Mhm.
do it and has said no. But there has got to be a list of about 10 UK queens, if they asked them, who said no, who have to be kicking themselves. Because I'm not going to say they would have won, but they at least would have gone to the finale. Like,
Cheddar
you
gorgeous.
could
Yeah.
Cheddar, Tace,
Bimini.
Tamara, Bimini, Ahura, um, shit. I'm
Davina.
trying to think. Oh, well, Marmalade would have had to do it right after her season, so that would have been really tough. Davina,
Yeah.
Davina would have been top four easy.
Yeah.
It is, even if Baga had come back, it, yeah,
The
it
mind
is.
reels.
And by the way,
Yeah.
here's the thing. I want to make this really clear in case Kate's listening or any of her fans listening. I was a huge fan of Kate on her season. I was bummed she didn't make it to the top four. And so I think the only thing that struck me with her run with this, and I really realized in the final episode, is I didn't feel like she was being. I felt like she was always on. She was always being performative. That she was always giving the audience and the story producers what they wanted in confessionals. I never thought she was being genuine. It was all like giving a joke, like a zinger for them to use. And by the way, that's very professional. That's very theater.
Hmm.
That's perfect. But when you're on a reality in quotes competition show, you also have to show yourself. And I was stunned that Rue never did that moment with her and said, "Why don't we know who the real Kate is?" Which I
Hmm.
thought was surprising. Anyway, we could talk about this forever, but we won't. We will say that we do not, in theory, the buzz is that Down Under versus the World is next. They have not announced a date. They have not announced a Meet the Queens date. But we can tell you before we leave, these are the seasons that have already finished shooting. Down Under versus the World. Latino Royale just wrapped. Canada All Stars. France season 4. España is about to shoot soon. They are shooting Canada season
Seven.
seven
Seven.
right now. So we're up to 6. And Drag Race Philippines should be shooting at any moment. So in theory, and they did UK season 9. So we have
Season
8.
eight.
Oh,
Yeah.
season 8, sorry. So we
Yeah.
have 8 seasons, including All Stars 11, that are still supposed to come out by the end of the year. It's March, people. So, are we saying that there might be, again, some moments where we are doing 3 episodes a week? Potentially, yes. But we love this. We'll enjoy our break. It's like my Oscar break. It's like
Exactly.
it's a nice, we're gonna get our energy revved back up, right? We're gonna recharge those batteries and be ready to do 5 episodes a week.
Listen, I think we at our peak when we were doing single episodes recapping all the seasons that
Right.
were happening. I think at one point we had six at concurrently. I think at one point we had
Oh,
that many
yes.
international seasons happening because it was global. It was a bunch of other things over
Yeah.
there. And listen, we, you know what? As always, Greg and I say, we do it because we love it. We have no skin in the game. We do it because for the fun. So what we want from you, just if you're going to pay us in anything outside of love and compliments, give us a follow, give us a subscribe, follow Greg on the TikTok, follow us on the Instagram, follow us on the
Mm-hmm.
Bluesky, wherever is appropriate. Please do give us a follow because those kinds of things mean a lot to the world. And truth be told, we appreciate it. In the comments, we would love to know who you think shouldn't have gone on the season. Who do you think had the best
Yes.
turnaround for the season? We want some drama started in here because most of the time it's just the queens commenting. We want to hear from you, the listener, truth be told. And Greg, you wanted to say something?
I do. I speaking of TikTok, I want to know. I'll do a poll and I'll put it on our YouTube. Should we start a worldwide tea TikTok? Would you follow a worldwide tea TikTok if we created it?
Let us know.
Throwing it out there. Let
We're
us
doing all the
know.
video editing anyway.
We're
Exactly.
doing
So
it.
we would
It's just another upload, baby. Like it's not that
exactly.
hard.
Exactly. Let us know what your thoughts, but as always, Greg, thank you so much for being able to do this with me. It is
Uh,
a delight. I'm so glad, much like Gawdland winning the season, there is good in this world, and you're a good part of that.
Thank you, Evan, so much. I do have to say, for legal representation, I believe you did not say our caveat that we do at the beginning of every episode. I would hate for us to be sued or for some queen to say that you guys were attacking us. Evan, can you please give
I
our
can't
our
believe
our
I was
mantra?
so excited. I was so excited. You're right. The last thing you need to know, and the thing that we try and say in every episode, as for the times when legally we don't, that in this House of Love we believe that all drag is valid and no queen ever deserves online
No.
hate. And as American entertainment journalists, we may not get every cultural reference, and we always appreciate corrections. And there are some truly great queens who aren't good at Drag Race, and we love them all the same. And the thing is, if you listen to any of the exit interviews we've did, the road to the crown always runs through Worldwide Tea. So make sure you keep on listening because the queens certainly do. We'll talk to
Mm.
you next season, everybody. Take care. Goodbye.